am very excited to be filming my spring essentials today. Even though it snowed yesterday, I have decided not to focus on that and instead focus on how beautiful it is today. It is bright and sunshiny out. This video I'm doing with Natalie from Flowerbomb31. So if you're coming from Natalie's channel, hi, my name is Ashley and I'm very glad you're here. I have watched Natalie for a long time, and I think it was last January, Natalie introduced me to one of my all-time favorite, I think it would be in my top 5 blushes of all times, and that is NARS Lovejoy. I'm just obsessed. I think this was easily my most worn blush in 2014. It's a gorgeous rose bronze shade, and I purchased other things on Natalie's recommendation, so she has fantastic videos, a lot of high-end are they worth the hype type of videos, which I really appreciate because then you can make better purchasing decisions. I will link Natalie's spring essentials down below so that you can watch that as well. I have a lot of stuff today. I have a lot of beauty, and then Natalie and I talked about discussing some lifestyle things. So I have clothes and then randomly a couple cookbooks. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the beauty stuff. I have 2 scents to share with you. This is my latest Target find from Shea Moisture. It's their Superfruit Complex Bath, Body, and Massage Oil with mango butter and green coffee bean extract. It has a very exotic, a little bit of a fruity scent, and you can use this for a lot of different things. I've mostly been using this to shave with. I really like to shave with oils. I just find that I get a closer shave and less irritation. You can put this in your bath because it's that moisturizing, and it also is very fragrant, and you can apply it outside after you take a bath or a shower. And it says it's contouring. I'm not sure about that, but I do feel like my skin is very smooth and plump after I use it, and it's made with some amazing ingredients like shea oil, sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, evening primrose oil. So the next time you're in Target, and there was another scent which I think I might try next time too. For an actual fragrance, since a lot of us are probably lightening up some of those deep, richer winter scents, I have the Leilani Skincare Organic Poulet Perfume Oil. And if you're new to my channel, Leilani Skincare is an Etsy shop based out of Hawaii, and I love their products. It's one of my favorite smaller brands. This perfume oil is supposed to smell like those leis you get when you go to Hawaii. I've only been there once, and it was when I was much younger, and I went with my grandparents, and it was such a fun trip. And every time I smell it, it just reminds me of being there and having so much fun. It's a very warm, floral, tropical scent, and it lasts a lot. I think because it's an oil, it lasts a lot better on me than a traditional spray perfume. Moving into makeup, I think this first item is my favorite makeup purchase of 2015 so far. It's the Stila Field of Florals Convertible Color Dual Lip and Cheek Palette, which is quite a name, but I think Field of Florals sounds very spring appropriate, and it is just full of gorgeous colors. I've mostly been using this on my cheeks, and I love the formula. The only thing I was a little bit concerned about with this palette is that the pans are very close together, and so I thought it might be hard to work with. But I found that the e.l.f., that little stipple brush, I think it's like $3 at Target, is perfect for this. So I don't want to go into too much detail because I like this so much. I want to do a full review with all the swatches and show you how I apply it. But if you're looking for the perfect spring palette, this is my favorite. To go along with those beautiful, creamy, colorful cheeks, I've been using a new highlighter. This is the Gressa Minimalist Illuminating Serum. And this is unlike any highlighter I've used before. It comes in a little dropper, and it is very pricey, but all you need is a single drop, and that's more than enough to put on the top of your cheekbones, on your cupid's bow a little bit, maybe if you like to put it down the bridge of your nose or on your chin. But the color is what makes this so unique. It is almost opalescent. It looks pink, it looks lavender, and it's in a white base. And while I think a lot of skin tones could use this, I think it's pretty universal. I think especially if you are very fair and you have trouble using those more golden highlighters, this one is really cool, very unique, and it's just fun to find something that you haven't seen before. Let's go ahead and talk about lips next. With my coloring, I really don't pull off spring pastels really well, so I either go for something a little bit more bright and bold or something a little bit more spicy neutral. For the bright and bold, I've been using a Bite shade. This is one of the matte cream lip crayons in Framboise, maybe? It is a deep pink. It is incredibly saturated, and it looks amazing on the lips. I was wearing this in a recent video. I think it was in my last grocery haul, so if you want to see what it looks like on, I will link that down below. But this color is really phenomenal, as is the formula. And then what I'm wearing today is a combination of one of my all-time favorite lip liners. This is the Jordana Easy Liner for Lips in the shade Tawny. I used this to really define the shape of my lips and to fill them in, and then on top, I paired this little mini bite gloss I have, and I got it during the holiday time when they were having some holiday sets, and it's in the shade Guava. And I love the combination of these two, but I will say that the bite lip gloss is very sticky. So if you're not a lip gloss person, I would recommend checking out the Almay Kiss Butter that I mentioned in my last favorites video, and that was in nude light medium, and that would give you a similar look. My last makeup item is one of the fanciest makeup items that I own. I think Natalie has talked about the brand By Terry before. I've never owned anything from it because the only place around me that sells it is Bloomingdale's. And the sales associates there can be a little bit intense, so you can't just go and play like you can at Sephora. But recently, Mercedes from L'Amour et la Musique was talking about their ombre black stars, and she had one and it was gorgeous. I think it was like Misty Rock or Mystic Rock. So I decided to brave going into Bloomingdale's, and the sales associate ended up being super helpful, and I swatched them all, and the one I ended up buying is in the shade Bronze Moon. And if you have Bronze Moon, yeah, and if you've been with me for a long time, my all-time favorite cream eyeshadow was from Buxom, and it was a bronze shade, I believe called Mutt, and it has been discontinued. So I was looking for something to replace that, and of course this is probably more than double the price of that, but it is amazing. I've been wearing it all week to work. I've just been applying it all over my lid and then just easily blending it in with my fingers. No creasing whatsoever, and I have really oily lids, so that's been amazing. I'm wearing it today all over my lids, and then just to be a little bit fancy, I took some shades from the Kat Von D Monarch palette just to help blend it out a little bit. So this is fantastic, and I think it's a really nice way to do a smoky eye without being as dark, so that's perfect for spring. I have two nail polishes. The first came in my last Julep Maven box, and it's in the shade Nedra. It's what I'm wearing right now, and it's an interesting color. It's somewhere in between a cornflower and a denim, but it has a little bit of gray to it, so it's unusual, and I think if you like wearing color but you don't want something super in your face, that is a great option. And then from Nails Inc, which ever since Nails Inc came out with those nail kale polishes, I've been really into the brand, and I just think they've been bringing out some beautiful polishes with great formulas. This is from a recent release called the New White Collection, and I have the shade White Horse Street, and out of all the polishes in the collection, this one leans the most lavender, and it's very muted and it looks very elegant on the nails, and of course the formula is great, and I think it wears really well. I don't have a lot of spring clothing to share with you. It's more of a color palette. I have been so into army green, black and white with some denim and tan thrown in, and this all started with the purchase of this Loft utility jacket, and I just love the color so much. I actually have a utility jacket that Loft brought out last year. It was in more of a blush peachy tone, and I've just been swapping them out. I've been wearing them every day. I'll just pick whichever one goes better with my outfit that day. But they are such a great weight for this time of year because they do add warmth, but they're not too big and bulky. And I think these jackets would even take you into summer if maybe you're going to a restaurant and eating outside or going to an evening concert. So you want to have something lightweight, but it's going to add some warmth to you. So I've been pairing that with either a black shirt or a striped black and white shirt, and then I like to add little bits of tan either with my bag or my shoes. Honestly, it's still too cold out to be wearing shoes. I'm still wearing ankle boots, but when it gets a little bit warmer out, I have some flats like this, and I love the black and the kind of cognac tan shade together. I love that look. That's kind of what I've been into for spring clothing. Nothing super colorful or floral yet, just sticking with the army green. Last but not least, I have two cookbooks, and just like in the spring, we lighten up our winter scents and our makeup, a lot of people lighten up their diets because we've gone through these harsh winter months where we need very warm, comforting foods. So in the spring, we can lighten things up and use some fresh ingredients. So I have two. One is brand new and I haven't made anything out of it yet. The other is still pretty new, but I have started cooking out of it. It's called Against All Grain, over 150 gluten-free, grain-free, dairy-free recipes. And it's written by Danielle Walker, and the photography in here is beautiful. And that always makes me love a cookbook and just makes me more excited to make the recipes. I've made a few so far and everything has been good. So if you eat meat, this is one I would recommend. And then if you have more of a plant-based diet, I would recommend this Deliciously Ella. Again, this is brand new, haven't made anything out of it. I started following her randomly on Instagram because she popped up in the popular feed, so I started following her. She seems wonderful, has a similar outlook on diet, similar to Chris Carr. So if you are familiar with her, I think you would like this. And then a subscriber just emailed me and said that she also has a fantastic blog, which I'm excited to check out. And I've been eating really clean for the past 2 weeks, and it just feels so good. And I think it really helps if you have a friend who's there to support you. And my friend Diana, who I met through the internet, she and I live on opposite coasts. We've never met each other, but she has been such a help. And because of her, I have invested in a food processor. So I've been making my own cauliflower rice and sweet potato hash, and she has a healthy Instagram account. So if you're interested in that, I will have it linked down below. I think there's going to be lots of links and lots of information. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you again to Natalie for asking me to do this. I really enjoy, I like any kind of seasonal favorites videos because you get to put beauty in with lifestyle stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next video.